Deceived, pregnant, and terrified, he lied about his vasectomy. I never thought my life could unravel so completely, so violently. I, if 34, thought I'd found something real with Finn M47. A handsome, fit, funny, and charitable man. It felt like a dream. We'd been together a little over a year, each with our own places, but often I'd spend the night at his. His kindness was intoxicating, a balm to my scarred soul, especially because I struggle with PTSD and intimacy only comes when I truly feel safe. Finn was understanding, patient, never pressuring me. It took 2 months before we became intimate, a night fueled by too much alcohol, leaving me racked with guilt and anxiety the next morning. But Finn, my seemingly perfect Finn, just comforted me, no anger, no blame. After that, we had a healthy intimate relationship, but I was adamant about protection. Every single time. Then came the request, that seemingly innocent question that would shatter my world. During one intimate moment, he asked to take off the condom. I said no. He complained it didn't feel good, that he couldn't climax. I refused again. The aftermath was chilling. He didn't cuddle, didn't hold me. He was distant, cold. When I leaned over to kiss his cheek, he recoiled, muttering, "Oh, now you care about me." My heart plummeted. We argued. He accused me of denying him pleasure. I reiterated my fears of pregnancy living where abortions are near impossible. "You're on birth control," he scoffed. "What's the issue?" I reminded him that it wasn't foolproof. That's when I offered the vasectomy compromise. They're reversible, accessible, and it meant I wouldn't get pregnant. He apologized the next morning and took me to a spa. Things seemed to smooth over. We moved on, or so I thought. Around the 6-month mark, he declared our relationship serious, considering me his partner. Then came the condom conversation again. He had to think about it. 2 months ago, he returned from a week-and-a-half-long work trip, and he was all over me. I was battling a severe bout of depression, but his eagerness was relentless. He accused me of punishing him for missing me, held my face, and started kissing me. After a few minutes of back and forth I just gave up and we had sex. Then, mid-act, he dropped the bomb. "I have the vasectomy, baby." The words hung in the air, a cruel joke. He was so excited to get me in bed he had forgotten to tell me. Afterward, he conveniently forgot about condoms altogether, until my cycle was late. Initially, I dismissed it as stress, diet changes, anything. But a nagging dread consumed me, and I took a test. He found me sobbing on the bathroom floor, and when I told him, he smiled. He laughed. "That's amazing, baby," he exclaimed, leaving me there to whoop with joy in the next room. He was spewing information about how he had dreamt this would happen, and it was a sign. That's when the horrifying truth clicked into place. I asked about the vasectomy. "It's not 100%, right?" Like condoms and pills, I was floored. The only goalie we took out of the equation was a condom. He claimed it was a miracle. I told him, point blank, absolutely not. I'm going to visit my best friend in another state and benefit from the reproductive health clinics there. His reaction was volcanic. He demanded to know if I hated him. Said I wouldn't dare murder his child, that if I loved him, I'd never say that again. He would take care of us, he insisted. He makes plenty of money. Didn't he treat me like a queen? All he was asking was that I have the baby. I packed to leave, and he followed, repeating like a broken record, "You won't, though, right? You won't murder my baby." He blocked the doorway, refusing to let me leave. Panic clawed at me. I grabbed my phone, backed away, begging him to move. He refused, saying, "You are not leaving." "What part of that don't you get?" Tears streamed down my face. Finally, he relented, letting me go. Since then, he's bombarded me with calls and texts begging me to talk. He claims I hurt him by pretending to be scared, that I know he'd never hurt me. He accused me of playing the helpless victim card, that actions like that could ruin a man's life. Then came the manipulative twist. "Your brain is lying to you again." He weaponized my PTSD and depression against me. I remembered the look on his face when I backed away, him having such a community-facing job, and I don't want to ruin his life or our relationship. But I wasn't pretending that moment. My emotions were so high, I just reacted. I sat in my car for God knows how long shaking before I could drive home. I've been ignoring his reaching out, but I feel like a coward. Am I the bad guy here? Update: he broke up with me and called me a murderer. So, I made an appointment and got the abortion. It was a horrible experience, but being pregnant and trapped with him would have been so much worse. He texted to apologize, claiming he said things he didn't mean, and begged me to answer my phone. When he called, my bestie recorded everything. Before I could even say hello, he launched into a monologue about how amazing I am, how much he loves me, what a great mother I'd be, promising to marry me immediately if that was my concern. When I finally spoke, I told him I was no longer pregnant and never wanted to be, and that I was clear about that from the beginning. He asked if it was a miscarriage, then quickly corrected himself, "Because I know you wouldn't willingly murder our child, right?" I stayed silent, and he said it was okay, miscarriages happen. We can just try again. I reminded him we weren't trying to begin with, I was on birth control, and he had the vasectomy. He laughed, confessing he lied about the vasectomy so I'd give up condoms. He decided I was perfect, loved me, and wanted me to be the mother of his children. My best friend intervened, announcing the call was recorded and to leave me alone or she would post it all over social media. He screamed, then started crying, calling me a witch and a hateful murderer, claiming I broke his heart. He threatened to slander me, reminding me that actions have consequences, then broke up with me. He said he'd check back in a few days when I was actually alone and we could talk in person to see if I'd come to my senses. He wanted us to go to church together on Sunday, even setting a timer to pick me up. I said no, but I have a ring cam. Sure enough, he showed up at my front door. He texted me, demanding to know if I was sleeping around, asking if I let the other man ride you like a wild horse without a condom, and if so, he gets a hall pass. He demanded I come home immediately so we could come to an understanding of our relationship, as I return home tomorrow and don't know what to do. Edit. Anyone who wants to shame my abortion. I have zero regrets. I will happily mock you in the comments. Thanks for reminding me how little a bigoted opinion matters to me. Edit 2. I won't be going home alone. My bestie's coming with me, and I have a friend in the city who's house sitting now. Edit 3. I'm in a safe location with 2 male friends who know everything and we're looking into options. I don't want to do anything rash. A guy friend is at my home and thus far it's been quiet. Edit 4. No, I will not harm myself. For those calling themselves pro-life, you sure want me to take my own life. I don't want to get pregnant because my doctors told me I have a high chance of dying, even before making it to term. The child also has a high rate of mortality during the pregnancy. Essentially, we would both kick the bucket before delivery. I am ineligible for tubals or hysterectomy where I live until I turn 40, especially with my insurance, and I would never be able to afford the out-of-pocket. The places even still require a husband's signature as a policy. I would be open to adopting if I ever found the right person and were settled and ready. Update 2. I actually forgot about my post, so I apologize. I didn't even realize so many of you messaged me to check in or offer kind words. A lot happened in a short time, but I will try to make it brief. Finn came to my home again, but I was not home. When my ring cam I saw him have a total fit. He was cursing me out, calling me on the phone. And when he got my voicemail he muttered I'm going to F-kill over and over again and said it super loud once before walking off. I have been getting a lot of hate mail, and the like calling me a murderer. My Facebook was flooded with these messages as well, and most of the profiles were people who went to Finn's church, so I sent him a text that either the harassment stop or I will post the recordings of him, all of them, the call, his threats, the texts, his voicemails, all of it. He replied, I have been patient in my love for you but you are being, and went on to say that I need to come to my senses and meet with him because he will no longer spoil me and discipline needs to be introduced to our relationship because actions have consequences. As for the rest I will skip over a bit for the sake of Biari. My bestie said that I should go to the police and we did, but nothing concrete has come of it yet. Something I low-key expected. Honestly, play it's a small little city outside a bigger, more populated one, and the small town vibes can run deep in certain circles. Many of the people go to the church Finn is, and that includes a lot of the police department. It came to a head last week when I sent some of the recordings to his parents who are on staff at the local megachurch in the area. His mom responded and asked to meet with me, so I went with my bestie to a public spot in the city. When she met with me she was incredibly apologetic and said that his position, the church is terminated, the staff will meet about this and decide on the full measure of consequences as his church family. She told me that she herself had an abortion before Finn was born, and her decision to do so came hugely from the fact that my father was manipulative and abusive, and she was not ready to be a mother even if she had a reliable and loving partner and co-parent. She went on to meet Finn's father and married him and had her children. She told me that she isn't sure if I had an abortion or miscarriage, but either way, play I should not be harassed by Christian claiming to be pro. I can't explain to you the relief those words gave me considering the vile that was message. Finn's sister reached out to me via text to share that she does not condone what her brother has been doing and to reach out if I needed. Then later was arrested for assault. I came to find out, but I don't know who he assaulted or why. Just that he was taken into custody and as he put me down as his partner. I was called to pick him up as he had been released. The running assumption is that he kept him sober up before releasing him. I didn't. I have since been looking for a new place to live as he knows my address. I'm staying with 2 of my best friends away from my town, and my home is more or less storage for my things until I find a place to move, all things considered. I'm actually really happy my friends threw me a Yeetus that fetus party and decorated the place with the troll comments from my last post. They made a pinata with scrap paper with his texts and that of his church pal's small bottle of lube and paper. That was my last surprise. They pulled together a nice sized donation to reproductive health clinic near my city and they pledge hours to volunteer. We are taking a summer trip together to have a hot girl summer kickoff and have many things planned. The 2 male friends I am staying with, I have to check on my house for me and soft in there once and made it clear under no uncertain terms that I was protected. And that if he tries to make more trouble, that actions have consequences. I have it recorded on my ring cam and it was glorious. Finn sent me a text telling me that I am a cruel witch that ruined his life and broke his heart, all because he loved me, but to not trouble myself he did end the message with I have to and always will love you, and perhaps one day your cold heart will melt and you can find within it your buried love for Me like, bro, take the sugar out of your Kool-Aid because I ain't drinking it anymore. Not to say everything is sunshine and roses. I have been in a lot of therapy and found that I overlooked a lot of red flag behaviors to become a more confident and true version of myself. Plus my friends don't really fully believe he is leaving town, so I am still staying with them for the time being. I love them a lot, but it's like having 4 older siblings fussing about like mother hens. I cannot wait to have my new. Thanks to you all for the kindness and support. I think this is my last update on the matter, as I don't intend on wasting any more time than I have to on that abyss. What's the price of garbage? Remember, you know yourself best and can love yourself best. Life is too short not to make the right choices for yourself, your well-being, and your happiness because you. Final update, I moved. I took a pay cut and moved to Austin, Texas. I can say that now, free of worrying, because Finn, well, he's in prison. For murder. I know, it's a disjointed rendition of what happened. Finn got drunk out of his mind at a local bar and spoke about his wife's abortion. I had since gotten a new job in Austin, Texas, and was moving when I heard. Finn's father asked me to testify to his character and to say my abortion. I obviously didn't. I moved with only the essentials and had a wonderful summer traveling with friends. I just got back last week, and I'm now packing my new home. Unrelated, when I got back and logged on, I saw a lot of you were concerned about my safety, so I wanted to update. I'm totally okay, already have new friends, and I'm going to adopt possibly the cuttest little senior Yorkie. I am literally in the waiting room where they will bring him out after he gets all his medical out of the way. I'm also in the virtual queue for an adult Rottweiler, and it sounds like I might get her by the time the work week begins. Anyway, I wanted to say thanks to everyone who was supportive, and also, I admit to rubbing my happiness in the face of the trolls who wish me misery. Sue me. Cha. Knowing everything that transpired, do you think I handled the situation correctly? Looking back, I see so many red flags I ignored and things I could have done differently. However, I am curious to hear your perspectives on how I navigated this tumultuous period in my life, considering the deception, the manipulation, and the threats I faced. I invite you to share your honest opinions and offer any insights you may have based on the details of my story as I continue my journey of healing and self-discovery. Your thoughts and advice would be greatly appreciated.